ॐ आप्यायन्तु ममाङ्गानि वाक्प्राणश्चक्षुश्रोत्रेन्द्रियाणि च सर्वाणि सर्वं ब्रह्मोपनिषदं माहं ब्रह्म निराकुर्याम् मा ब्रह्म निराकरोत् अनिराकरणमस्त्वनिराकरणं मे अस्तु तदात्मनि निरतेय उपनिषत्सु धर्मास्ते मयि सन्तु। ॐ शान्तिः शान्तिः शान्तिः। श्रुतिस्मृतिपुराणानाम् आलयं करुणालयं नमामि भगवत्पादं शङ्करं लोकशङ्करं शङ्करं शङ्कराचार्यं केशवं बादरायणं सूत्रभाष्यकृतौ वन्दे भगवन्तौ पुनः पुनः। ईश्वरो गुरुरात्मेति मूर्तिभेदविभागिने व्योमवद्व्याप्तदेहाय दक्षिणामूर्तये नमः। Come on, we will read from mantra 1 of second chapter. यदि मन्यसे सुविनूनं त्वं वेत्थ ब्रह्मणो रूपं यदस्य त्वं यदस्य देवेषु अथ नु मीमांस्यमेव ते मन्ये विदितं नाहं मन्ये सुवेदेति नो न वेदेति वेद च यो नस्तद्वेद तद्वेद नो न वेदेति वेद च यस्यामतं तस्य मतं मतं यस्य न वेदसः अविज्ञातं विजानताम् विज्ञातमविजानताम्। So now, lastly, it has been said that avijnatam vijanatam, this Brahman is avijnatam, not known for those who know. Vijnatam, vijanatam. For vijanatam, Brahman is avijnatam, not known as an object. Vijnatam avijanatam, for those who do not know. For those avijanatam, for those who do not know, Brahman is vijnatam, means known. Known means it is an object of knowledge. And for those who know, it is give me the word from the text. Why like this? For those who know, what is Brahman? Avijnatam. Avijnatam. Vijnatam means known. Avijnatam means not known. And for those who do not know, avijanatam, those who do not know, for them Brahman is known, vijnatam. So now when we say vijnatam, for those who do not know, Brahman is known. So known as known, how is it known? As an object. means it is objectified. For those who do not know Brahman in its entirety, those who do not know Brahman really, for them Brahman is object of knowledge. And for those who know in reality, Brahman is avijñātam, not known. Now when this is said, a question can arise, yadi Brahma atyantameva avijñātam. So if Brahman is not known at all, now when it is said not known, Shastra says in one sense. In one sense, in which sense is Shastra or Upanishad saying that it is not known? It is not known as an object. It is not known, it is not objectified. But now the Purva Paksha or the question that has come is that yadi Brahma atyantameva avijñātam. If Brahman is not completely known, not known at all as an object, Brahman is not known, as an object. When you don't see it, then what can happen? Laukikanam Brahma vidam cha avisheshaha praptaha. Then this situation will arise. Now listen carefully. That for those who know Brahman, for them also, they do not know Brahman as see. For them also Brahman is avijñātam, not seen as an object. Okay, keep this aside. And for those who do not know absolutely, which means they are ignorant people and they don't know anything about Brahman. So then both of these people will be same. They will be same only. Totally ignorant people also have no idea about Brahman. For those who know, for them also Upanishad says that Brahman is not object of knowledge. Then knowers and ignorant will be same. You are getting it? That is the question. Then what is the difference between those who know and those who do not know? Ignorant people have no idea of what reality is. They are merely going with their lives without knowing anything about Brahman. And those who know also, you made it very clear, Upanishad made it very clear that avijñātam vijānatam. For those who know, those who are the knowers of Brahman, for them also Brahman doesn't become the object of knowledge. They know it as their self, yes, but it doesn't become object of knowledge. But Purva Paksha is saying, but in this case, ignorant and the people with knowledge fall in the same category. So here the question is, then how does knowers of Brahman know it in Vyavhara? The question here is very practical question. That if you have knowledge in Vyavhara, is your Vyavhara in Vyavhara, that is in our transaction, means when we are living our life, does Brahman does not come in picture at all? So Upanishad says no, it does come in picture. It does come in picture in the sense that even though Brahman doesn't become an object of knowledge, like this flower which I see, that way knowers of Brahman do not see it. It doesn't become the object of their eyes or ears. Eyes do not see, ears do not hear about Brahman, organ of smell doesn't smell Brahman, organ of taste doesn't taste Brahman. Yes, it doesn't become object that way, and yet it becomes a matter of knowledge in Vyavhara itself. Because a valid question will arise, then how do we know Brahman? If it has nothing to do with our lives and nothing to do when we look at creation, then what is the use of having this knowledge? So now Upanishad says, makes it very clear that even in Vyavahara it is known in a unique way. Not just as you see this, but still known. So this question is answered now. Let us read the verse. Pratibodha viditam matam Atmana vindate viryam Vidyaya vindate mrutam Katantu tad Brahma samyak viditam bhavati. How is this Brahman known very well? So even if you do not know it as object, while carrying out your Vyavahara, you still know it. How? So now excellent method, excellent way is shown. How is it known? Pratibodha viditam matam. Pratibodha viditam matam, which means bodham prati Brahma viditam. Brahman is known bodham prati. What is this bodha? Bodha means pratyaya or thoughts. Thoughts arising in mind. Each and every thoughts which are arising in the mind are called bodha. So now Shruti says, Brahman is known with reference to each thought. Bodham means thought. Another, bodham, thought. Bodham prati, with reference to each and every thought, Brahman is known. So you understood? It's not away from life. And I will tell you, when you see any object, this is the object rose. And this object rose is not really different from thought of the object. I mean, rose thought. Rose thought corresponds. When I see this object, the thought arises. Gata vritti, pot thought arises. Now pot thought has already this object in its mind. So with reference to this pot thought arises. With reference to rose thought arises. With reference to handout thought arises. So really that way pot thought sort of encompasses this object pot. Otherwise, they don't stand apart. Had the pot thought not covered this object, when eyes come in contact with the thought, we said this yesterday, when eyes come in contact with this object, the thought pervades it. And as it were, the camera clicks, and you see the rose thought. That can be seen when thought pervades the object. So in a way, we can say the object and the thought pertaining to that object are not really different. They are not really different. Okay. So when this object I see, pot thought arises. Now Upanishad says, Atma is to be known, Atma is to be appreciated, inferred, reference to each thought. And thoughts keep on coming and going. When I look at you, your thought. When I look at this, rose thought. When I look at this, card thought. Thoughts are different. But Upanishad here is saying that you know Brahman in each and every thought. With reference to each thought, know Brahman. That is the way to know Brahman. Living our life, thinking and everything going on in the mind, that time Brahman is not really away. It's not away. So the question here was, everybody's question, it is there in everybody's mind, then how to know Brahman? If you say it is not known, for knowers it is not known. It doesn't become object of thought. Then how is it known? That question arises. Because everybody says that we cannot appreciate Atma as Asti Bhati Priya. Then how to know that? Yes. So Shruti gives an excellent example that in the mind, with reference to the world outside, when you see the world, thoughts pertaining to the world arises. Even when you are sort of away from the world, let us say away from the people, then also are objects. When you are alone with yourself, then also thoughts pertaining to those objects do arise in the mind. You may not go to your workplace today, but suddenly if you remember, then your office is there before you in your mind. So, thoughts pertaining to the world keep on arising. We cannot avoid it. Don't avoid it. See Brahman in that. Appreciate Brahman in that. How? How? That is what is explained by Upanishad here. That you should see that in each and every thought, how the thought arises. After seeing this, Rose thought arises in the mind. Now, that thought is Jadam. Jadam means inert. Mind is inert. Mind, as we have seen, mind, each. In spite of they being inert, what is happening there at the level of the thought or at the level of the mind, when the thought arises, who is illumining it? Brahman is illuminating. Brahman illumines. In the presence of Brahman, which is the real light, which is consciousness, Chaitanya, Chiti, Bhati, Asti, Bhati. Bhati means it shines. And world shines after that. Which means in the light of Brahman, the world shines. Now we come to thought. This spot thought has arisen in the mind. And now Brahman being there, reflected in the thought, or Brahman is there, source of light is there. It illumines the thought. So when you see the thought, had Brahman not been there as Atma, the thought would not have been lighted up or illumined. So in the presence of the source of light, which is really Brahman, the thought is illumined. When the thought is illumined, each thought tells you, I am illumined by Brahman. In the light of Brahman, I am seeing the thought. Then another thought comes. After the pot thought, another thought comes. Rose thought. So, each and every thought becomes the doorway to tell you that it is in the light of Brahman that this is illumined. So thought becomes a sort of the pointer. Remember what we said on the first day, that Brahman is known not by Vachyartha but by Lakshyartha. Lakshyartha means points, just as that arrow mark points. Similarly, this thought points to what? The illuminator of the thought. The one who reveals this thought in the light of Brahman, which is nothing but Chaitanya, consciousness, that this object is illumined. So indirectly, each and every thought comes and tells you, I am, I am, I am. In my light, this is illumined. In my light, another thought is illumined. In my light, third thought is illumined. So each and every thought, bodham, bodham, prati, viditam. With reference to each and every thought, who is pointed? Brahman. In our common parlance also. Yes, the real source of light is Atma. But which is the common light in which you see in the waking state? Sunlight. So actually, when you see this rose, along with the rose, what are you seeing? Sunlight. Light. In the light you see this. Although our attention is focused only on the rose. But indirectly, you are seeing the light also. Because without light, you could not have seen the rose. Because if it was pitch dark here, then you could not, even though this rose was present, you would not have been able to see the rose. So in the light, backed by the light pervading this object, can you see this object? So really you are seeing the light too. When you see rose, you are seeing the light too. Similarly, real source of light is Brahman. Sunlight is also really lighted up by Atma, that we have already seen. So each and every thought arises in consciousness, remains in consciousness, consciousness goes back to consciousness. So the understand, this is how Brahman is to be known. Each and every thought, if you are preoccupied and engrossed in the thought itself, this won't happen. Oh, why this? When I look at this rose, if this kind of thoughts arise in my mind, this color is no good. It is beautiful, but no smell. Why did Ishvara have to make this kind of rose? With no smell, looks very sturdy and beautiful, but no smell. So there should be this Indian rose. Things like that, no? Then I miss the light. Why? Because I am occupied in the name, form, and my raga dveshas for this. See how raga dveshas block the appreciation of the truth. Because I like it, I dislike it. Or how to use this, supposing. If I am that kind of a person, use everything. Then my mind will start working. How to make perfume from this? How to use this? Then too, I miss this object. This is what is meant by antarmukhta and bahirmukhta. Bahirmukh means one whose mind is always extrovert. This is real extrovertedness. I worry about the name, form, like, dislike. I like it, I do not like it. How to throw it away, how to get it. Heyam upadeyam. Throw this, I don't like it. Because supposing there is one thorn here, then moment it touches me. So we are occupied, engrossed in procuring, giving up, procuring. In short, in our likes and dislikes. And that becomes the main obstacle in not being able to focus or understand Bhagavan. Bhagavan is here, right here, right here. As I said, you can see this only when Atma is there. In Atma's light, you see this, but Atma is missed. Bhagavan says, what can I do? You keep on complaining. Do ghanashyam, nath muri, akhiyan pyasire, darshan do. I am constantly giving darshan. In which way? We want that you come before me, not that way. Here in this, in and through, I am there. In and through this object, Bhagavan is here, right? In which way? As the illuminator of this thought. Plus is the very content of the thought. I will show you. See this example. Water is there in the ocean and a wave arises. A wave arises, remains, sets back. Arises from water, remains in water, goes back to water. You can watch now this when you are sitting there on the bank of Ganges, Gangaji. Now watch this. Waves will arise, remain, go back. Arise, remain, go back. Now, What is when wave, there is no wave, there is just water. Then the same water comes in the form of wave. Same water. Water. Again, as we said last time, no? If I take away clay from this, you can keep such thousands of such pots. But I take away clay. There is no existence of the pot or pitcher or plate or anything other than clay. Similarly, when the water is taken away from the wave, there is no water. So, when you see the wave, what are you really seeing? Water. But if you are preoccupied with this was little higher, and this wave was not enough for me to ski. They do, water skiing and things like that. So you must be knowing that sport, that they surf upon the waves. For that peculiar kinds of waves are required. Only then can you surf. You can go along with that. They keep some wooden plate or something, and on that they do all this surfing. So when the wave is not good enough, then you can't do that. In short, when you are preoccupied in how the wave should be, then in all likelihood, what will you miss? Appreciating and understanding water. That is samsara. Similarly, when you miss and you are busy with how the thing is, whether useful to me, whether not useful to me, then Bhagavan is missed. That is samsara. Samsara is not having wife and children and husband and doing a job. That is not samsara. But in spite of doing all that, Janaka was what? Videhaha. He was always away from all this. In his mind he knew, I am not any of this. In short, occupies our mind. The quality of the thought, when we are occupied by that, then tattva is missed. Otherwise, tattva comes in the form of the thought, remains in that, goes back to it. When the thought comes illumined by the Brahman, illumined by consciousness, pervaded by consciousness, goes back to consciousness. Not only illumined by consciousness, but it has consciousness alone as its content. Consciousness is the content, tattva, plus also, what is consciousness? Illuminator. Both illuminator as well as content. Just as the wave comes from water, content is water, plus name and form is wave. Water plus a certain name and form is wave. Different name and form is tsunami. Third name and form is cyclone. Fourth name and form is vortex. These are all different names and forms. But in and through them, who is there? Water. Plus illumined by water. In this example, it may not be that evident. But see, in the same way, see, there is just silence. There is just silence. From that, a thought arises. What thought? Any thought arises. There was silence. From that silence only assumed the form of the thought. Silence or say consciousness. Silence or consciousness plus name and form. Means consciousness in the form of a thought or a pot thought, rose thought. There the content is consciousness, assuming the form of rose thought. Just as water took the form of waves, remained and went back to become water. without any name and form. In water there is some name and form, but that is the limitation of the example. But here, from consciousness, that is Atma, which is my very self. Thought arises, remains, goes back. Another thought remains, goes back. Now, if I want to do bhajan of Bhagavan, Bhagavan means Atma, then it should not matter to me as to what the thought is. Let it be whatever it is. What am I watching? What am I appreciating? The illuminator and not what is illumined. The content and not the form in which, the name and form in which it appears. Got it? But that, as I said, requires the mind should be all poised to know that. Otherwise, to have such a mind, this kind of mind is highly evolved mind, which is not worried about that, but is concerned with or is interested in what? The content. What is the content of everything? Content is what? Consciousness. Asti bhati priyam. Chaitanya, which you don't see. What you see is name and form. See, consciousness cannot be seen. But when a thought comes, that can be seen. You follow? But that thought points that the illuminator is Atma. Formless comes in the form of a form. Formless, just as formless water comes in the form of wave. Similarly here, formless consciousness sort of comes in the form of a thought. So that became the gate to know Brahman. Otherwise, Brahman is, I am Brahman. That way he doesn't come. I am Brahman, like that he doesn't come before you. But what comes before you is illumined by Brahman, and the content of what has come before you is also Brahman. Other day we said that there are only two things, 5 aspects in everything. Which are the 5 aspects? Asti bhati priyam. Content is asti bhati priyam. Asti bhati priyam. Asti bhati priyam. Everywhere asti bhati priyam. Don't think asti bhati priyam are many. Asti bhati priyam from another asti bhati priyam. What is distinguishing factor is only name and form. So we said that the Jagat means name and form. Everywhere Jagat and Brahman comes together. Everything. In each and everything, 2 things are there, Jagat and Brahman. In that, which part is Jagat and which part is Brahman? Asti bhati priyam is consciousness, Brahman is Jagat. We told the Jagat aspect is changing. What is not changing is Asti. I am happiness. That is the common denominator everywhere. Common. Here also Bhagavan is. If by Bhagavan you mean if you mean Krishna, then you may not find him here. But the content of Krishna, content of Devi. So we are remembering Devi today. Shiva. Content of Shiva is what? Asti bhati priyam. Asti bhati priyam coming in the form of Shiva, who has applied ashes, then who has snakes everywhere. Chandrama here, Gangaji there. That is the name and form. But the content is Asti bhati priyam. Now tell me where this content is not. Where is it not? In whatever you see. Whatever you think of, Even when you think of Satan, who is there? Who is there? Ravana. Asti Bhati Priyam is there. And the wise man, one who is totally occupied, or a sadhaka who wants to know this, will not be seeing the name and form. The less we are attached to name and form and the function and how it looks and how it should be, when these things don't bother us. This doesn't bother us how he looks, whether handsome or not, whether this or that. Nothing. When these things just don't bother, I just don't look at those things, then only I will be able to dive deep to see what? Asti Bhati Priyam. That's why Bhagwan says. So see, is Bhagwan away? Is he away? The question began with that if avijñātam, then how to know? Avijñātam vijānatam. For those also, those who know, also you said Brahman is avijñātam. He doesn't see. And for ignorant people also, they also don't see Brahman. Then what is the difference? The difference is very much there. Wise men, they see the world, and in and through the world, they appreciate what? Asti Bhati Priyam. When I am, when I shine, when I know that I am happiness, I already know this flower. In which way? That I am the basis of this flower. The Asti Bhati Priyam, here and Asti Bhati Priyam, there is no dividing line. No, Asti Bhati Priyam here stops. Then another Asti Bhati Priyam begins there. No. It is just one, just a space. This is one pot space, this is another pot space. Pots are different. We can count one pot, second pot. But can you count this pot space as one, this pot space is another? Pot in them are different. Pots in this are different. But pots space engulfing this pot and the space engulfing this pot are just one. Depends on where you look at, what you look at. If you are busy looking at the shape of this pot, then space is missed. Why to talk of us looking at this pot space itself here? Supposing this, let us see. Supposing the pot space here looks as itself, oh my God, my body is very small and this one is very big. So I must become like this one. I must now eat more and more idli dosas and shira and everything. Then one day I will become like this one. So this pot space wants to become, pot may grow and decrease, but nothing will happen to what? Space. Because it is already this space. It is all, this also we cannot say. The space here is the space here, and it's the room space, hall space, Rishikesh space, Delhi space, India space. Just one. You follow? When you are, what you are focused in life, where are you focused? That so shows what I am occupied. Whether I am sannyasi, whether I am wise man or whether I am samsari. Samsari means focused in pot, not space. You follow this? What I am saying is, when a name and form occupies me, just as in gold, if I am occupied in wine, what is the name, what is the form of my, what is the form of the ornament? If the chain thinks I am only this much, very thin chain it is, then it will feel that I am nothing in front of a very big necklace. The queen wears a very huge and big necklace. Before that, this is nothing. So now it has to become big. But if it focuses upon gold, just gold, then doesn't matter where gold is, in which ornament. What I appreciate is good. Similarly, bodham bodham pratividitam is with reference to each thought, I have to know Brahman. Because of me, this thought. In this thought is content, I am there. Krishna says in the 14th chapter of Bhagavad Gita, mohameva cha pandava na dveshti sampravruttani na nivruttani kankshati. Bhagavan says prakasham means when a sattvic love that. In the early morning, the thought is today I am going to do japa. And everything is Bhagavan. This is a sattvic thought. Then comes Rajas, I want to achieve this and that and that and become number one. My name should be there in the industry. Things like that. This is all Rajas. Then the third thought is, today I am going to sleep. Do nothing. Not only do I say today, I start dozing off. And I don't want to get up. Even after getting up, nothing happens. So much of work is there in the office, at home. But bother, let it be. Let it be like this one. It need not be okay. Let it be. Tomorrow servants will come, they will do it. This is all tamas. This is all tamas. So prakasham cha means sattvic thought. Another is pravrittim cha, rajas thought. Third moha, that is tamasic thought. But an ordinary person seeing the sattvic thought, he will feel good about himself. And he will want to hold on to that. No other thought should come. The whole day I must have this kind of thoughts. He may want to hold on to it. And when the tamasic thoughts, sometimes thoughts are, horrible. All kinds of thoughts come. And then we judge ourselves. That my mind is really abominable. I just don't like my mind. Because I judge myself from the condition of my thoughts. So, but this is all with the case of ignorant person. But wise man, whether thought is sattvic or rajasic or tamasic, na dveshti sampravruttani. If the tamasic thoughts comes, he doesn't get up and try to remove that. If a sattvic thought comes, na dveshti sampravruttani, na nivruttani kankshati. If it goes away, he doesn't want to hold on to it. Because it is the nature of the thought to come and go. Thoughts are always in a state of flux. They come and go, come and go. He is not bothered about them. Of what is the thought? Where is he focused? Where is he focused? I am illuminated. Atma, the witness, the Sakshi, Chaitanya is different from illuminator, illumines the object. I am this and not this. Not this means I am this one. And because of me, not going to remove me. Why should I be bothered by it? Should gold be afraid of necklace? Should water be afraid of wave? Even if tsunami. But water, we will be afraid. It will throw us away. But water, it knows it is because of me. So you have to shift. In life, shifting is required. Shift from where to what? From this to this. This is called avrutta chakshuhu. Kenopanishad says, according to avidya, we are bahirmukh. Paranchikani vyatrunat swayambhuhu. Everybody, when they are born, and that is due to avidya only. So everybody is focused outside, looking at the objects of the world and this and that. So there are so many fanciful things. Bhagwan has given enough, and man has also created much more. So you keep on saying this and that and this and that, and the whole day and whole life passes away. Whole life will pass away. Today, now I am retired. Now sit and study. No, no. I'm taking it easy with you all. I want to go to Bali. Then having gone there, I want to go to Mexico. When coming from Mexico, I want to go to Switzerland. Nothing wrong. Nothing wrong, but this shows that still this is occupying me. Paranchi khani. My khani means sense organs. All the sense organs are directed to the world outside. That is what they are made of. There is affinity between them. Affinity between the world and the sense organs. Because they are made of the same tattva. So that affinity is there. So what I need to do is, swabhavik attachment is there. But a wise man or a sadhaka needs to do lot of hard work to convert it this side, to transform it not in that. I mean, it is already directed there, but I should now be able to remove its direction of going that way to bringing it this way. Lot of effort. Sometimes, the source of the water, it may be coming from there, then sometimes it goes back like that. Generally the trend is from up to down. It flows. But at some places in Gangaji, in Yamunaji, sometimes the source of water goes back to its source. Not towards the ocean, but goes back towards its source. That is how it turns. That is the most auspicious thing. This is the most auspicious place also. Why? Because lot of effort is required this way. This way no effort. The gravitational pull is there. From up to down. The force of tamas is there. It will pull you down. Tamas is not. Tamas happens on its own. To bring it to rajas is an effort. Sattva is an effort. To rise in life is an effort. To fall is no effort. If you throw the ball to go down, will just fall. But to climb the stairs, bring it up. And that is what Bhagavan teaches in Bhagavad Gita. How from tamas to come back to rajas. Bhagavan says from tamas come to rajas. From rajas come to rise to sattva. And from sattva to beyond the three gunas. Gunatita. Nirdvandvaha. Naistragunyo bhavarjuna. Bhagavan says. Naistragunyo bhavarjuna. Become free from all the three gunas. These gunas are prakriti. Gunas are prakriti. Atma is not prakriti. Atma is not guna. Atma is the illuminator of guna. Guna means maya. But how should we rise in life? Straight away from tamas, I cannot come to sattva. When I just don't want to get up, then what is needed? If you get up and you do this much work, then I will give you 500 rupees today. 1000 rupees. Then you will get up. So that is rajas. You give some lobha, some incentives. These fellows may not work otherwise. So from tamas we come to first get up. Nothing wrong in sakama action also. Rather than not doing anything and wallowing in idleness, it's better that you get up. And having gotten up and worked very hard, then Bhagavan even rise from this. Come to sattva. Because sattvad sanjayate jnanam. Jnanam is possible only when predominance of sattva is there. Not rajas, not tamas. You require predominance of sattva. Sattvat sanjayate jnanam. Rajaso lobha evacha. Rajas brings lobha. So the more you have, more you want. Who will say enough? Ambanis will also not say enough. Who is this our Musk? He will also not say enough. More and more and more. I'm just saying this. There is no end to that also. So then sattva. Rajaso lobha evacha tamaso moha. Tamas will give moha. Means you are not able to see anything correctly. When moha is there in the mind, in the antakarana, you cannot judge anything correctly. Where you have to do, you will not do. Arjuna was in moha. Tamas. He said, no, fighting here is himsa. Bhagavan said, it is not himsa. It is dharma karya. What was dharma is seen as adharma. Moha makes you see the thing altogether in a different way. So these are not our friends. We think they are our friends. And we entertain them, pamper them, have some coffee, have some tea, this, that. No, just drive them out by resorting to sattva. Becoming sattvic is not easy. First become sattvic and then grow out of sattva. That is the last step. But some people want to straight away. That straight away nothing happens. There has to be process. System is there. So, to a wise man nothing matters. Whether the thought is sattvic, see now because he has grown out of all the three gunas. All the three gunas are given up. That is why he just appreciates Brahman. Udasina vadasinaha guneryona vichalyate. He is not at all touched or ruffled by any kind of, not perturbed in any way. Sometimes a bad thought comes and you are ashamed of your. I mean, that should not, that kind of thing. But this person has no such thing. Why? Because he knows I'm different from the thought. See is different from the seer. Drishya different from the drashta. And I am drashta. I illumine. And supposing clay in whichever form comes, what does it matter? It is still clay. So Atma, the water coming in the form of whichever wave, whatever may be the form of the wave. Why, what should it matter to water? It was just a play. But to be able to see this also, you must be very well established in sattva and then have given up that also. So why I am saying this is, to know Brahman first, we have to become introvert. Avrutta chakshuhu kaschid dhiraha pratyagatmanam aikshata, which means some only few people. They are highly sattvic, highly evolved people. You have to rise in the ladder of evolution. You have to rise. Then only, even though Atma is my Atma, today coming back to that is not that easy because we have gone far away. Far away. So now this inward journey has to be undertaken. It has to be undertaken. So, see, very beautiful method is given. See, the best way to conduct this in the beginning, how to prepare yourself to focus upon the self, upon the illuminator and not what is seen. There is a method. We can practice, all of us. You can just pay attention that there is silence, and then rather than any thought, I give the thought in the form of a mantra. Mantra is also a thought. Om Namah Shivaya, say, supposing. So now just everybody, you can all, you may not close your eyes, but we will do this together. Now there is silence, and now Om Namah Shivaya. You need not say, just listen. After Om Namah Shivaya was the thought. Was the thought. And then there is silence. Japa, silence. Now before any other thought arises, what should we do? Om Namah Shivaya. Then silence. Then again, Om Namah Shivaya. Mantra, silence. Mantra, silence. Then elongate the silence. First was mantra, silence. Mantra, silence. Mantra, silence. And now silence. Mantra. Silence. Om Namah Shivaya. Just watch, we are extending the silence. Silence. That silence is consciousness. Mantra. Om Namah Shivaya. This becomes easy. This is a method. Rather than allowing, now you can listen to me. Rather than allowing the altogether different thought, which is the habit of the mind. That is the habit of the mind. That seeing one thing, all of a sudden we are transported somewhere else. When I see a Mercedes, then I go to Japan, and then from Japan I go to some other Hiroshima. Where is Hiroshima? Hiroshima. And then nuclear things. Then again I go back to Iran. Then from Iran to Trump. Like that, mind just wanders. Then I will have no track of what? Consciousness, the illuminated. I will be far away from that. So rather than that, this technique is given. That japa. Ek to japa means you are getting Ishvara's grace also. Plus one thought similar to other thought. Third thought similar to second one. Third thought similar to second. Fourth one similar to third. Like that. Om Namah Shivaya. Om Namah Shivaya. Om Namah Shivaya. So thoughts are similar. So mind is not given the chance to wander all over the world. Just remain confined to Om Namah Shivaya. Om Namah Shivaya. This is the biggest technique. And Bhagwan remains with you. And slowly do what? Lessen Om Namah Shivaya. Less of mantra. More of silence. In that silence, you are getting the feel of Atma, consciousness. Because that silence is Brahman, is Atma, is the illuminator. Chiti, Chaitanya, Bhati. Practice all this for a long time. For a long time. Then what happens, you know? You become familiar with Santi, consciousness. It is one thing to talk about Brahman as being Asti Bhate Priyam, and then to understand, because you are in that. You are in that. You follow what I am saying? When you elongate Shanti, and have these sessions every day, morning, evening, then what happens? You become familiar with yourself. Today in ignorance, even though I am there, I am not familiar to myself. Are we familiar? We are familiar with every other thing. But we have given no time to know ourselves. So this is the way, first of all, we sit back, at least 15 minutes, 20 minutes, just enjoy silence, mantra. A time will come, then mantra will drop off on its own. One will get expertise in this. What will happen? I begin to love that silence so much, that mind, Om Namah Shivaya, gets absorbed in Brahman, gets absorbed in Brahman. Then, when again it goes somewhere else, immediately, Om Namah Shivaya. And when you utter Om Namah Shivaya also, where are you? Brahman only. Because from water, wave. What is wave? Water only. And then when it subsides, only water. Be with that consciousness. Here, water is consciousness. In the ocean of consciousness, which is I, Om Namah Shivaya, or a thought has come, remains, goes back. I train my mind to appreciate that consciousness. I be that. That is I. I am this beautiful silence in which no samsara is there. No need to worry about anything. I am full. There is none other than me. Me means consciousness. Atma, Brahman. Who am I afraid of? Who am I attached to? Otherwise, objects of attachment, persons of attachment come and hold me. There is nothing other than me. Even the person whom I am attached to is nothing but one kind of wave. Now you can see that. Not away from me. From me, things have arisen. They remain and go back. Follow what I am saying? Do this. But how to see Brahman? This is the way. This is the way. See, you are not seeing. Are you seeing Brahman? You are coming back to yourself. Avignatam vijanatam. I know Brahman. I am silence. That silence has no form. Does it have any form? If you are seeing something, yadi suvedeti, then you don't. If you are seeing something, so before you start seeing things, immediately bring Om Namah Shiva. That is the technique. When the mind begins to wander, bring the mantra of your like and of your devta. Not any mantra. And yes, one more thing. The mantra ideally, preferably, should be as short as possible. So that, it doesn't take much time. Small mantras. Not Bhur Bhuvasvaha Tat Savitur Varenyam Bhargo Devasya Dhimahi Dhiyo Yon. Long. Some mantras of Hanumanji and so. Very big. Not big. For other things you may do that. But for this, you need a very small mantra. So sannyasis and in the past sages, for them Om was enough. Just Om. The most sacred mantra, they would utter Om. How long does it take to utter Om? Om. 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 As it is, Om has as its adhisthanam nirguna Brahman. Om means both Saguna and Nirguna. Saguna, Akara, Ukara, Makara. Om. When we say Om, it has these three syllables. A, U, Ma. When you open your mouth, A. In between, U. When you close your mouth, when your lips come together, Ma. And then silence. That silence is Amatra upon the Omkara. So when you utter Om, you are describing the entire Paramatma. In both its Saguna and Nirguna Swarupa. You may have Rama name. Rama is small. Krishna is small. Om Namah Shivaya. But in short, not very big mantra. Not big, very big mantra. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. No, not big, big, big. The mantras should be such which you like, which is preferably of your Ishta Devata, because Ishta Devata is one I love, who is close to my heart. I should not just, because they are sages were chanting Om, so I chant. I'm not interested, supposing I don't like Omkara, which means it doesn't do anything to me, then it won't help. Mantra should really do something to me. When we utter the name of our Ishta Devata, it does something, because love has been established. That bond has been created. So when you utter that, His grace also comes, and you can utter, then appreciate the silence. This is how bodham prati buddhyate, prati bodha viditam, bodham prati viditam. Each thought becomes the gateway. Each thought points to the Atma. That because of me, I illumine, I am the content. So do you see that now, even though Brahman doesn't take a form, and yet in each and every thought, I appreciate Brahman. Then when I look at rose, then also, because of me, I pervade. This is how whole life and each and everything in the life becomes nothing but makes me appreciate Brahman. That is why some Mahatma, Narayan, he keeps on Hari Icha, all the time, Hari, Hari, Hari. This is made practical by them. So this is the way, this is the only way. Bodham prati viditam. We'll continue with this in the next class. Om Purna Purnamidam Purnat Purnamudachyate Purnasya Purnamadaya Purnameva Vashishyate. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Shankaram Shankaracharyam Keshavam Badarayanam Sutrabhashya Krutau Vande Bhagavantau Punah Punah Ishvaro Gururatmeti Murti Bheda Vibhagine Vyomavad Vyaptatehaya Dakshinam Namaha. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Hari Om. Shri Gurubhyo Namaha. Hari Om. Everybody can do this homework today. Do some japa and try to do this, what we have done in the class.